long time figuring out how to do it, and I have found really no help. The only help was a few very old astrologers who made it very difficult to calculate progressions and transits and things, and their book is so full of these arcane words. Oh, really hard. But I worked on it myself, and I evolved some things that really work. The thing is, it's not like you're some psychic. You're going to look at it and say, oh, I see a vision of you're wrecking your car on the 3rd of May. No, it's not like that at all. You really got to work. You get all these pieces and you get the symptoms. You get the symptoms of what's happening on the train. Lady asked me, am I going to have a baby next year, Mr. Frost? I said, I don't know. I don't know how to find babies. Let me look at your chart. I looked at her chart and I went through 10 variables and 5 progressions. What I found was, first house over here, she's unhappy with her body for 2-3 years. Then in the 6th house she quit her job, and then she stayed home in the 4th house for a whole year. Then she went out in the yard for a couple years, and she finally went back to, she played in the 5th house of children, the Leo house here, the Leo car on the train, the club car. She played for a bit. She finally went back to work in the 6th after 6-7 years. What is that? Those are the symptoms of having a baby, and that's what you get. You get the symptoms of what's happening on the train. You don't know what the cause is. The people on the train, you yourself, you figure out the causes. You create, the train ride the way you see it. And a lot of it is colored by your attitude, your free will. But to do, I do 2 years on every chart. Whether it's a $65 Jeep or a $95 Chevy or a $125 Cadillac, I go through the next 2 years. And some more detail, more understanding, from any place from an hour on DVD to 2 hours. And what I give you are the symptoms. I mean, I know that your Saturn's going to hit your Venus, and the love and sex is going to be pooey, and you're not going to enjoy things, and you're not sleeping well. And I know when. I don't know why. So I tell you when on a recording, on a DVD, and it gives you knowledge of the train schedule. That allows you to adjust your attitude more easily. Use your free will. Huh? More understanding you have, the better the train ride is. And you're the spirit riding on the train. You might as well try to enjoy the ride. So I get irked plenty when I see phony astrologers feeding us massive amounts of speculation about where the asteroids were when a poor young man was killed for going to get some Skittles. I watched never mind. American Justice. Anyway, I still offer you a free call me up, 322-3584, to find out about your solar return, your real birthday. In case you're having a lousy birthday here in Hawaii, you can zip over to Las Vegas and the whole chart turns 30 degrees and makes it a lot better. It's the only time you really have when you can affect what happens on the train ride. You can put some things more in the dark and other things out in the light, so to speak, and make them louder. So it's an important thing, this birthday business. And so again, call me up with an exact time, and I'll tell you when the exact time of your birthday is. And if it doesn't look so hot, I'll let you know. In the meantime, don't be taken in by phony astrologers. There's nobody out there watching except guys like me who stand up and say, hey, I'm a professional and this is bad. You're not really doing the job here. Giving everybody a bad reputation. And a lot of that happens. I'm a nuts and bolts guy, 8 planets in Earth. And I don't like all this phony free will astrology, or I can tell you all about your asteroids. Sorry. Anyway, that's what I learned today as Uranus slowed down and stopped. is it's okay to criticize and point out these problems with astrology and astrologers. I mean, that's part of my job. Come on, let's go do the sky mirror. Well, let's take a look at the sky mirror and see what's coming up for you in the next 10 days. Mars and Venus are still in sextile, 60 degrees from one another. So it's still quite romantic, you know, kind of nice. Even if you don't have a lover or a squeeze right now, just Venus is kind of pleasant. It's kind of nice to be in a loving mood. So here's the way the chart looks. The sun's going through the last part of Leo here. It's coming up to oppose Neptune. You're not going to like the Neptune characters much, but it's still kind of in harmony with Uranus. So good for astrology and science, not so hot for religion and art and music over the next couple of weeks. We're going to run the moon around the edge of this planetary pattern, and as the moon makes angles to these other planets, we get the mood of the times, the general mood, the generic mood. Now, let's start here. We got Friday, and we're in the Venus, Vendredi, Friday, Freya. So it's a Venus day, that's for certain. The moon's going to go by Venus kind of early, you know, almost around before lunch, around the middle of the day, it hits Venus. So now Mars, you got Mars early in the morning, so you're going to wake up kind of lusty and then get kind of romantic and sexy as the middle of the day goes by. And you probably hold that mood all the way through Friday, August 9th. Because on Saturday, as soon, you know, at 2 a.m. in the morning, the moon shifts into Libra. And it's a whole different ball game. So you don't want to stay out late Friday night. If the moon hits Libra, it starts early with a nice sextile to Mercury. So their kids are happy and everybody's talking, and then it starts to get tough. Bad Saturdays arise again. And in this case, here's the opposition to Uranus, Saturday night late. Here's a square to Jupiter. We're overdoing it. Things made too big, and we got quakes, and we got power outages, and there's a panic, and it's all Saturday night and into Sunday morning, August 11th. By the time you get to the afternoon of Sunday, August 11th, there's a nasty square to Mars. We're all kind of ticked off. We're going too fast. But late after dinner, there is a sextile to the sun, and we start to get a plan together. On Monday, the moon's still in Libra till you get to about noontime. Then it shifts into Scorpio. The vibes change again. This time you're in the Saturn zone. Of course, Neptune is in trine. Monday night when the moon goes by Saturn, you might feel a little bit broke. You might have some mean thoughts. But by and large, Saturn's in a happy position. I can't believe the judge in that Zimmerman trial must have been stoned or something. There was a lady that said Trayvon wasn't violent because they found marijuana in his bloodstream. And so he was just going down to the store because marijuana gives you the munchies. You get hungry, you don't get violent. And he went out to get some munchies. Anyway, nobody listened. Here you are, being the judge. You be the judge late Monday night when the moon goes by Saturn. There's trines to Jupiter, you'll feel wise. Trines to Neptune, you'll feel righteous. And late in the evening, there's even a sextile to Pluto, you'll feel powerful. Tuesday morning, when you get up, you feel like you're nurturing everybody. The moon's still in Scorpio, and it goes by the North Node. Oh yes, let's take care and mother everybody. Look out. Whatever's going on here is too easy. These guys are all in cahoots, and they're not going to deal with Uranus. They don't want to deal with the environment. I just watched one of my favorite cartoon things on TV, and they made fun of PETA. PETA is one of my favorite organizations. Bad people making fun of PETA. Take care of those animals. So you probably coast through Tuesday also, August 13th, still moon in Scorpio. late to, well, it's actually Wednesday morning. The moon's still in Scorpio, and there's a sextile to Mars, or trine to Mars, and then there's a sextile to Venus. And here's another, it's a romantic place, except in the middle of it, between your lustiness and your sexiness, there's a square to the sun. And so you feel kind of frustrated, like you're not getting anything done Wednesday morning. Word to the wise, you just keep the ego down, and you could have some fun here on this day. On Wednesday, August 4th, the day is split. Early part is Scorpio. Time you get to dinner time, moon shifts into Sagittarius. The vibes change again. Doesn't feel so romantic anymore. And in fact, Wednesday night, here's a nasty old square to Neptune, and people feel lost, and there's bad smells around. And sorry, Thursday morning, however, just before lunch, around the middle of the day, there is a nice trine to Uranus. Science will tell us the way here, not religion. Religion bad Wednesday night. Science good Thursday morning. And you're talking about it Thursday night. There's communication about these new things. And Friday morning, the moon's still in Sagittarius on August 16th. And by golly, you're getting something done. You got a plan. The ego is back at work here. I hope your plan doesn't include sex, though, because this Friday night on the 16th, the moon's squaring Venus, and it's not going to work out. It may be a Venus day on August 16th, but it's not for that kind of Venus. No. Early Saturday morning, the moon's in Capricorn, and here's a nice sextile to Saturn and a sextile to Neptune and a conjunction to Pluto. Everything kind of feels powerful and feels like it's all righteously done according to the law. But wait, what's this? There's an opposition to Jupiter, and there's a square to Uranus. And you're not going to get through this Saturday without some upsets. Here's more upsets coming right at you. Saturday, August 17th. Twist the cables, knock the battery. You're stuck. Sorry. Continues through Sunday when everybody's ticked off and impatient and angry here in the morning and through the middle of the day. And then late after dinner, there's actually a full moon point here, that 0 Aquarius, so it gets a little lunatic-like, and there could be more heat here and things. Doesn't settle down until late Sunday night when there is a trine to Venus. It's midnight, 1 a.m. in the morning, Sunday the 18th. You could relax and get a little fun. Back to my offer to do something free for you. If you call me up to find out about your solar return, the nice thing is I got to put your chart in the computer to do it. So I got to do your natal chart. It requires an exact birth time, right to the minute. And when I do your natal chart, I will discover your rising sign and give it to you. You write it down. If you don't know your rising sign, by going after your solar return, you'll find out your rising sign too. And once you get the exact time of your solar return, which might be off a day from your regular birthday, then you got a chance to kind of manufacture your year. Just do good things. Like suppose you want to quit tobacco. You could use Acknowledge Distract on that day and not smoke on your solar return. Tendency would be not smoke all year. See? If you want to go exercise or just eat good, or you could do all kinds of healthy things on your solar return, and they tend to spill over into the year. Okay, lest you forget, there are alternative ways to view this show. Try YouTube or frac.com/astro and do it at your view of the show at your convenience. There's the phone number, area code 808-322-3584. If I don't answer,